Alright, guys. Hey, I figured just realized after uploading those videos about me opening up about being trans in those videos on YouTube that it was brought to my attention that there was at least one dislike. And though I'm not sure who actually disliked it, I want to apologize to you very sincerely. I'm not sure what the reason behind it was, but I want to reach out to you and let you know that in those videos I was not trying to be a hypocrite, and I apologize if those jokes that I said in part 1 and 2 of that video about me saying that I identify as trans male, if that offended you. I'm not trying to offend anyone, okay? That was not what that video was meant for. I was actually just trying to motivate people to not be so reserved from the world and the universe as a whole, and to actually have more initiative and determination and just motivation to actually reveal who they are and not feel secluded and feel like they're excluded from events and stuff just because they're, whatever they are in this community. And I was not trying to single out straight males and straight females. Like, I apologize to the females that might have gotten offended by the joke that I said in video 1. I was not trying to say that all females are snobby like that, because there are quite a few females later on in my lifetime that I met that are actually really, really nice people. The females in my family are really, really nice people, and I've met some really, really nice females that I work with. Most of the people at my job that I work with who grew to know me and kind of love my humor, um, you know, they're mainly females, and I have female bosses, believe it or not. So I was not trying to hypocritically say that all females are bad. So I apologize. Ultimately, I was not trying to hurt y'all's feelings. I swear to God, I was not. That was not even the intention, and I did not realize how bad that joke was until afterwards. And I also want to apologize to the, straight males that no. In part 2 of the second video, I was not saying that all men generally look at Barbie dolls as a sexual sense. I was just using that as an example. It was not necessarily to say that all men are like that, because just like with the female, situation, I wasn't really saying that all of y'all were like that. It's just I grew up in a really tough lifestyle, and it was hard growing up. When I was, younger, things were just complicated. Like, the parent that I, mentioned in that video, and toward the end of the first one, my trans female cross-dressing, father, they weren't necessarily married to my mom to begin with. And so growing up, I did not have them in my life to actually help make being a trans male any easier for me. I grew up, being abused before and things like that. These were things I really did not think I had to necessarily bring up, because I was trying to be respectful, because I love my family very much, and I don't want them to also make the false accusation that this is to go against them, because I actually love everyone. My whole intention is to teach the world that because we're meant to be diverse for a reason, that we should continue that diversity and not hate one another. Like, I was not even trying to be mean. And that's why in this video I'm apologizing to all of you that view that, if you saw it as me attacking y'all, because I wasn't. It's just the people that I was around at the time were like that. I was not saying that all of y'all were like that. So please, my viewers, please for a moment don't think that I would ever think that about y'all. Anyone that's subscribed to my channel, I love y'all like family, and I would never think that y'all are bad people. So don't ever think that I would ever say that about y'all, because I actually care so much more about everyone else than myself that I'm willing to sacrifice my entire being as a whole just to make sure that y'all's satisfaction is at the top-notch priority, because I care way more about everyone else than I do myself. And I know that can be bad health-wise, but sometimes, you know what, I say screw it, I'm just here to make sure everyone's happy and having a good time. Because I'm not trying to make things difficult for people. And though people think I'm always here to fight, That's not the case either. I just want peace on earth. That's all I ever really wanted. Is peace on earth. And so, again, I deeply and humbly, regretfully even, apologize if y'all took that the wrong way. Because, like, I was just trying to, crack some jokes, and sometimes my jokes can be a little bit too deep and too far, and I'm kind of, actually mentally disabled, and some of these traits came from my trans father, who isn't in my life. But like I was saying, it was thanks to them that they gave me that courage to be able to make those videos. Because, like I was going on about, this is not something you can really open up to just anybody. And I was just trying to set an example to fight for those people in this community, to not let people walk all over you like a laundromat, but actually, stand up and, like, really take pride in who you are. And that's all that really mattered. And I did not want to cause a war. I'm not actually trying to be mean here. And I want y'all to know that this apology is not at all fake. I'm being straight up legit. There are times where I cry so hard for a mistake that I make that I fall into this depression that, like, literally will last for, like, several weeks if I hate myself for too long on something that I did wrong. So please know that I'm being serious about this. I mean, I'm not kidding. Just like being trans male, I'm serious about my apologies. And I know a lot of people think that since I probably mentioned that I was Gemini, that might be another reason why they might not like me, because they think I'm gonna be this two-faced person that's just saying this for views or something, and that's not the case either. I just want y'all to know that I love every one of you. No person on this planet, in my mind, is actually any less of a human than anybody else up and down the street, and I just want y'all to know I care about all of y'all equally. I won't let anyone into my circle. It does not matter who you are. It doesn't matter if I know a lot about you or not. I would still actually be nice to you just because. And, if you watch this, I hope that this will clear things up for you for those two videos. Because, like I said, I'm not trying to tackle people. It's just I grew up in a really tough lifestyle, as I've said. Things were hard living life with a person that had to take the place of my original parent, because we had a rough start, but we ended up growing to like each other a bit better nowadays. But that's not to change the fact that it was still pretty rough without my parent that could have made this lifestyle a tad bit easier. But that's why I'm glad that I'm able to text them now outside of Facebook, and we're friends on Facebook now too. So, I mean, it's just hard. Things like this are difficult, and I want people to know that they're not alone. There are other people out there that struggle with the same stuff, and I just want them to know that I'm going to be that role model to help them go into the new generation of feeling like they can be confident about who they are. And that's all that mattered. That's all I was trying to get across. Because the last and final tidbit of why I even saw myself as a guy, if y'all really want to know, since I was trying so hard not to really say people's names in this, because I really didn't want to offend people, because that's not, like I said, that's not what I'm trying to do, is when I was younger, there was this girl that I used to hang out with a lot, and I don't know why I had intentions of being with them, but they go by the name Holly. I don't know their last name, but I used to go to church with them a lot, and it was quite fun. There was a lot of good memories I had with this person. This person's a good person, don't get me wrong, they are. They're nice. They started out sweet and everything. Gave me a Squirtle first edition 1990s like Pokemon card. I mean, I still have it. I'm not saying that this bad experience defines them. But what I am saying is this is how I definitely realized it. Because when I was at age 12, at age 12, that's the biggest age I generally realized I was more male to begin with. But when I got slightly into my preteen, teenager years, and the young years, I remember this one memory of being at the grandparents' house. And they weren't really, I guess, doing anything. So we had time to chill out at their house, to just play and, visit and whatnot. And I was watching one of my Pokemon videos. If I recall correctly, it was the, for VHS, it was the episode where Ash's Bulbasaur goes to the Bulbasaur garden, and we were watching the third final episode on the VHS tape. Me and her brother. She comes walking up in there and literally just rudely turns it off, acts like I can just come back to watching it whenever I can, grabs me by force on the arm and yanks me to her room just to play Barbie dolls, yells at me for not remembering word for word what I'm supposed to have these Barbie dolls say in a pretend game, and won't do anything else until I do exactly what she says word for word when I'm partially disabled in the mental sense. And that to me offended me. So, when I said that stuff about not standing people that act like that, I actually had a reason for this. But I'm not saying that that's what defines you. Because like I said, that was just me joking around. I wasn't being literal, okay? I wasn't trying to piss you off by saying you needed to calm down. I was just saying, hey, maybe you should tone down the negativities. I'm not saying that you're negative. I was just saying that, let's just joke around and, play around a bit. I wasn't actually trying to be offensive, but that was the biggest reason, because all throughout that time that I was hanging out with Holly, of all people, for whatever reason, they just did things to me that violated me in various ways. Like, their pretend games were even uncomfortable. Because when we played Doctor, they were literally touching me in, like, the actual vaginal area. Like, literally touching me in places that I just did not feel comfortable with. And I just didn't like that. And for some reason, I started realizing that I was acting more like a scared guy who did not want to be bothered. Like I said, the old-fashioned boy that's still new to the whole concept of, interaction with a female. Like the guy that's too afraid to interact with a female because he doesn't know if he's going through feelings of, I love this person, or feelings of, I don't know what to do. It was one of those scenarios. I just didn't feel comfortable with this. And she's half the reason why I actually don't associate being a female. And as far as the guy joke, I'm not saying all guys are freaking, sexual. Like, I'm a trans male, so that I understand where y'all are coming from. I'm not saying that y'all have to, be thinking of sex all the time. I'm not saying that. The only reason why I brought that up was because there was a person that I dated who did not know I was trans male. And at one point, they literally started looking at me as a sex object and nearly raped me at least twice. We had to get the cops involved. We were almost desperate enough to get like a restraining order if it kept going. And several nights later, they sent a text message to me that my parents don't even know about how they were just going to use me for sex practice as a sex doll toy for perfecting the sex that they'd have with a person that they had cheated on me with. So, there were reasons why I said what I said. But again, you should not take that, as a negative thing. It was just a joke, I'm not trying to hurt people. It's just these were deep things that I did not think I would have to bring up to further explain this, because when I say personal, I mean deep, deep personal, and it's so far deep that I feel like I might just cry about this now, because it's some serious stuff. And I'm just trying to let y'all know I'm sorry. I am deeply sorry if I offended anyone, because there's just a lot going on here, and I just wanted to set that example that I'm here for all people of that community, because I love everyone, and I really do. Like, I actually am friends with a trans person currently right now that's going through the same struggles, and they're not even able to come this far either, as far as making videos about it, because I understand. People get afraid. They're too afraid to say these things for reasons, and I understand that. I get it. Trust me, I know how that feels. It's terrifying. And, as I'm getting ready for work this morning, I wanted to take this time to explain this to you guys so that y'all know that, hey, Word for word, I'm saying this physically myself. A robot's not telling this to you. I am deeply sorry. Because that's not the intention. I was never here to attack people or be a hypocrite to y'all. I know that everyone's equal. I know this. I am a person of diversity. I actually encourage diversity every day, every chance I get in my life, every time I can, just to get that point across. Because unlike everyone else, I used to think that I was the only one that actually wanted that. And I know that the world is corrupted. I'm aware of this. A lot of people, always thought that I was too much in a fantasy world, not paying attention to what's going on. But in reality, I know a lot, way more a lot of what's going on than they think I do. It's called, like my, real father said, acting. You may think that I'm dumb and don't know things, but just because I'm disabled mentally does not necessarily mean that I don't know what's going on. So don't ever stop to think that that means I don't know what's happening in the world. That doesn't. That does not change that. I still know what's going on in this world. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I just hope that this third video here, I hope this helped you understand where I was coming from. It's just, it took me forever to realize that I was more of a male. And for me to come this far to actually admit this is really hard. Like, my haircut, this hairstyle you see that I've got right now, I literally got my hair cut short on purpose because I not only was trying to cosplay as a male character, but actually wanted a boy cut on purpose because I see myself as a male. Heck, my parents may not support the fact that I'm trans male, but yet they do at least let me buy Axe body wash and deodorant and Axe razors and stuff like that, like the Axe products, and that stuff's expensive. They let me buy it. I'm at least thankful that they allow me to do that despite the fact that they don't actually support it. And it's really hard living in a lifestyle like that when the one parent that does support it isn't exactly married, so he has no reason to actually be over here. But like I was saying, I'm not trying to offend my trans father either, because I mentioned they weren't in my life, but what they weren't able to do by not being in my life that they lacked in, they picked back up in, and being able to communicate with me through Facebook now. And that's a blessing. Something is better than nothing. Take what you can get as is and be thankful for what you already have. Because the smallest of things can be the greatest of things. That's what I'm trying to point out. I was not in any way trying to be the enemy or frenemy of my viewers. So please understand that. And just know that, I really do care for y'all. If I say something that is out of place, please do not hesitate to let me know in the comments. And I will straight away find a way, because I'm still new to YouTube as far as the settings of what to do as far as editing things, but I will find a way to edit that out if I have to, because I can't really make very good videos for sure if I don't have the input needed for me to know what I'm doing wrong. And I don't want to continuously see further dislikes on future videos. So I want to know from you, the viewers, what to put in these things, because if I'm saying something you don't like, I need to know. And I don't want to hurt y'all's feelings. That is not what I'm trying to do, and I am sorry. But like other things besides my haircut and stuff, when I was mentioning that trans people probably draw themselves as, OC characters, what I meant was that they write stories and draw OCs of them being the opposite gender that they associate to. That's what I meant, and that's what I was showing y'all. That new sauna that I drew was a male new sauna. Like, I've always been writing stories like this for quite some time. And that's just something I love doing because, like I said, I'm more comfortable as a male, not a female. I am really struggling with this too because, the body parts of a male and female do not determine one's gender identity. Their actions do. And honestly, I'm trying to remind people this because that's what I mean by society, is throwing that at you to make you feel insecure, to second guess yourself, to not follow through with your plans of getting those trans surgeries done. If you really do want to have that, because at one point I really was planning on doing that, but I'm aware it's super expensive. But if you're willing to do something that makes you happy, there's no reason why you should stop trying to do that. There's no reason at all. I mean, like, that in itself is kind of dumb, don't you think? Wouldn't you agree? I mean, I would rather see my viewers and everyone on this planet be able to have peace on earth in their own way so that they can be happy with what they have and not feel like they're hated for whatever reason. And I don't hate straight people. I'm not going against the straight people. I'm not saying, trans people and all these people have to go against the straight people. That's not what I was implying either. I'm not picking sides. This ain't no battle. I'm saying we're all equal and that we should accept the fact that we're all equal and be happy about it and move on. That's what I'm trying to say. So, apologies again. If my jokes are a bit too strong, I will try to limit what kind of jokes I put into this, because I'm not trying to hurt y'all. But, like, I guess another reason that I would actually really personally, see myself as male is not just because of my physical strength, because I have a lot more strength than what most females generally would have. But, I mean, I usually use my voice as an example, because my voice is by default a bit deeper than most females, and it is